Greetings, everyone. My name is Sister Miriam Hoffman from St. Scholastica Monastery in Fort Smith, Arkansas. My hometown is Altus, Arkansas, and my parents were Paul and Gertrude Court Hoffman. I went to the Catholic School of St. Mary's. My baptismal name was Lucille. We had 8 grades and were taught by the Benedictine sisters from Fort Smith. My parents moved to Paris, Arkansas in 1947, and I entered the monastery in August of 47 from St. Mary's Parish in Altus. I never lived in Paris, but I visited there during my vacations. While I was growing up, we lived on a farm. I had a mom, dad, 4 brothers, 2 sisters. It was during and after the Depression. I enjoyed farm life. We raised most everything we ate. We would walk to school, and we could hardly wait for the grapes and cherries to get ripe so we could eat them as we went past them. Anybody want some? Our father worked the mines plus on the farm. He mined 40 years and died at the age of 62 of black lung disease. My mom also ran the farm, prepared and canned food we raised. We children helped. I spent 3 years in the novitiate. There were 5 others within the novitiate through thick or thin. We worked the convent farm from picking berries to digging potatoes. You named it, we did it. We even picked up cow chips from the pasture, then threw them to each other as frisbees. More fun? My first 3 years after profession were spent at our owned and operated hospital in Morrilton, Arkansas, called St. Anthony's. The year was 1950. The hospital had 3 floors, plus a chapel and priest living quarters. We had sisters to staff all the departments in the hospital. In 1970, we moved to a new hospital owned by Conway County and staffed by our sisters. I spent 3 years in our hospital, St. Mary's, in Dermont, Arkansas. Then I came back to Morrilton, where I spent 41 years as a dietitian and food service manager. All total, I worked 44 years in hospital food management, 3 years in Dermont and 41 in Morrilton. And they were wonderful years where I got to visit the sick and provide food for them. Occasionally, we would go on picnics at a picnic area by the Arkansas River. Before leaving, we stood on the bank overlooking the river and sang our night prayer Compline. It was so peaceful. On Sunday afternoons, we would walk down to the Arkansas River. Sister Margaret Soares and I were always doing things together. She loved to send her sisters a big homemade birthday card. We'd gather cutouts from wherever we could find them to fit the person and paste them on the large paper or poster cards. When Sister Margaret was dying from cancer, we worked hard to get the cards all done before she died. She had them addressed with a return address on them. After she died, above her name on the cards, I put "From Heaven." When she was in the hospital, I blew up balloons and mailed a big box of them to her. I never heard if they got busted en route to her and caused the postal service to call the inspectors, but it was fun. When we left the hospital in 1944, I came to live in the monastery, managing the monastery kitchen for 18 years. Since then, I've been doing odd jobs and live in the infirmary. I attend daily Mass and prayers. I visit the infirm sisters when I have time. The Lord has been very good to me. I love to draw. During evening recreation, I do crafts, crochet, and puzzles, even at age 82. During my years in the kitchen at the hospital, Sister Mary Paul worked night duty. For our sister's birthday or feast day, I'd make the special dessert they liked. One time I surprised Sister Mary Paul Rossi with a bologna cake. She loved bologna. Sometimes I would make a folio cake, a cake with cardboard between the layers. Sometimes the cake would be decorated with candles you couldn't blow out. I pray that the Lord sees fit to send us young women to carry on His ministries. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for being so supportive of us sisters. I invite everyone to come to visit us. And to any young single women who are looking for a way of life, a career, a ministry, come see us. You may have God calling you. This is a wonderful, fulfilling life. There are people out in the world who need you, so don't wait. God needs workers in his vineyard now. Life is worth living in St. Scholastica Monastery, Fort Smith, Arkansas. I had lived that one.